I'm standing used to be part of a dairy farm long before the grocery store behind me became Town and Country, or Central Market before that. Families would drive out here to buy fresh milk from the Vodders, where the library sits now. It was a dynamite factory a long time ago. This whole town I'm about to walk you through was a 900-acre farm known as Lake Dell Farm until about 1967. This land eventually became the heart of Mill Creek. Now it's one of the most sought-after places to live north of Seattle and ranked as the second best place to live in Snohomish County. A home for 20,000 people, streets named after fairways, a downtown you can walk end to end. I've been selling homes in Mill Creek for a long time, so I know my way around here, the neighborhoods, the back roads, and the places you probably won't find in a quick online search. So come along with me. I want to show you Mill Creek the way I actually know it, not just as a real estate agent, but as someone who calls it home. Hey, I'm Marv Nicholson, second generation managing broker. My dad did this before me. I've been helping people find where to live for 20 plus years. This channel, Living Big in Seattle, is here to help you figure out where you actually belong before you ever sign that paper. I'll show you the neighborhoods, what homes actually cost in the current market, the schools, the commute, lifestyle, and the real cost of living. If that's your kind of thing, hit subscribe. I do a new Snohomish or King County city twice a week. Don't miss it. All right, walk with me. Mill Creek is still one of those places people really want to live. It has strong schools, plenty of parks, an active community, and an easy location for people working in Seattle, Bellevue, or the nearby tech and aerospace areas. This place is just 20 miles north of Seattle. You've got a little over 20,000 people here. The entire city is only about 4.6 square miles. Let's talk about transportation, because a beautiful town you can't get out of is just a pretty trap. Mill Creek sits right off State Route 527 with Interstate 5 just to the west. That's your main artery down to Seattle or up to Everett. I'm on these roads every single day, so let me tell you, this is car country. Most folks here drive, and the average commute runs around 33 minutes, a bit longer than the regional average, mostly because of that I-5 pull toward the job centers. You know, if you're commuting into downtown Seattle daily in traffic, you'll feel those miles. But here's the good news on the horizon. The whole region is leaning hard into transit. Bus service runs through town, and with light rail expanding northward through Snohomish County, the long-term commuting picture up here is getting better, not worse. If Mill Creek has a heart, it's the town center. Picture this. The first phase welcomed the public in 2004, with construction wrapping up in 2007. And I want to be clear, this isn't a mall. It's a mixed-use lifestyle center, meaning there are apartments and condos above the shops, restaurants at street level, a grocery that people up here are genuinely loyal to, and wide sidewalks that were built for walking, not just for getting from your car to a door. And I'll be honest with you, I'm here more than I'd like to admit. This is where I grab my coffee before showings, where I run in for groceries at Town and Country, and where I end up half the weekends, whether I plan to or not. So when I tell you it feels like a town square, that's not a line. That's just my Tuesday. Let me tell you about a summer evening here, because that's when Mill Creek really comes alive. We have the annual Mill Creek Festival, where the streets filled with live music, local vendors, food, a car show, and families from all over the area. Then there are free outdoor concerts in Town Center, pianos on Main, and community events in the parks. For a city that's only about 4 square miles, there's always something happening. I had a client a couple years back, a couple downsizing out of a big house on acreage further out in the county. The wife was nervous about it. She'd spent 30 years with land and quiet, and she was scared moving into something smaller and would feel like giving something up. We walked the town center on a Wednesday evening during one of those concerts. She didn't say much, but on the drive back, she turned to me and said, "Marv, I haven't felt like part of a neighborhood in a long time." They bought a condo 3 blocks off the town center. She walks to her coffee every morning now. That's the thing about this place. On paper, Mill Creek scores as car dependent, The walk score for the city as a whole is pretty low, and I won't pretend otherwise, but the town center itself is a genuine little walkable pocket. If you plant yourself near it, you get the best of both worlds, a quiet suburban home and a downtown you can stroll to, and then there's the green. The city runs more than 20 miles of trails and something like 10 parks packed into a pretty small footprint. The North Creek Trail system winds right through neighborhoods. Now you'll see people out walking dogs, pushing strollers, jogging before work. For a town this size, the amount of outdoor space is honestly kind of remarkable. Okay, let's talk about where you'd actually live, because Mill Creek isn't one single thing. It's a handful of distinct neighborhoods, each with its own price tag and its own personality. Let me walk you through them the way I would in the car. And I mean that literally. I've walked most of these streets, some of them on my own evening loop. So this isn't off a map. This is me telling you which corner of town I'd point you toward. The country club neighborhoods, Fairway, the country club estates. These are the crown jewels, homes backing right up to the golf course, mature trees, that architectural consistency that only comes from a planned community. And this is where you'll see homes cross the $1 million mark without blinking. If you want prestige and long-term value that holds, this is the corner of town you're looking at. The town center condos and townhomes, places like Amberley and Pembroke, this is your most accessible way into Mill Creek. You're walking distance to everything we just talked about, and you're in a home that's easier to lock up and leave. This is where a lot of my downsizers and my younger buyers end up. The family favorite pockets in neighborhoods like Silvercrest and the Parks. These are the mid-tier, and they're beloved for a simple reason. They sit close to the top-rated elementary schools. When I've got a young family calling me, this is usually where we spend our Saturday. And Sweetwater Ranch, a little quieter, larger single-family homes, a bit more room to breathe. Here's my honest read as somebody who does this for a living. Mill Creek holds its value. Part of that is the schools, part of it is the planning, part of it is just that people who move here tend to stay. When a town has that kind of stickiness, it protects your investment on the way out. And I always tell my sellers, the way you get into one of these neighborhoods at the right price and the way you get out of one for top dollar is different in each pocket. That's local stuff. That's the kind of thing you don't get from a website. If you've got kids, this might be the whole ball game. So let me give it to you straight. The crown jewel of the public system here is Henry M. Jackson High School. It opened in 1994. It serves a little over 2,000 students, and it is genuinely one of the best public high schools in the state. It consistently lands in the top 10% statewide. Their 4-year graduation rate is about 98%. The Washington state average is around 83. So you're talking 15 points above the state year in and year out. Reading proficiency sits up around 85-87%. They offer more than 20 advanced placement courses. Average SAT lands around 1270, and the feeder schools underneath it, Heatherwood Middle School and elementaries like Mill Creek, Penny Creek, Silver Lake, Cedarwood, and Woodside, they're strong too. That whole pathway is a big part of why families pay what they pay to live here. You're not just buying a house, you're buying a seat in that system. There's also a well-regarded private option, or Archbishop Murphy High School over on the northeast side of town, if that's more your speed. Now, small honest note, because I promised you honesty, school boundaries shift. Districts redraw them more often than people expect, and some of the southern part of town actually falls under a different district entirely. So if you're buying specifically for a certain school, do not trust an old map. Verify the assignment with the district before you write an offer. I've seen that heartbreak, and it's avoidable. Overall, the cost of living here runs above the national average, call it roughly 20% higher, and the biggest single driver of that is housing. Everything else, groceries, gas, the day-to-day, is in line with what you'd expect around greater Seattle. And here's the housing picture as of the summer of 2026. The median home price in Mill Creek is sitting right around $975,000. A year ago, that number was closer to $907,000. So on the NWMLS data, prices have actually ticked up year over year. Now, I'll be straight with you because you'll see this if you go digging. Some sources are showing the market softening with different medians depending on how you slice the data and the time window. And that tells me we're in a more balanced market than we've seen in years, and homes are taking a little longer to sell, a median of around 11 days, which is still fast, but nothing like the frenzy of a couple years ago. And the sale to list ratio is hovering right around 98%, meaning sellers are getting close to their asking price. But the days of routine bidding wars way over list have cooled off. What does that mean for you in plain English? If you're a buyer, this is the most negotiating room Mill Creek has offered in a long while. Not a fire sale, but you can breathe, you can inspect, you can make a reasonable offer without waiving your firstborn. If you're a seller, your home still commands real money here, but pricing it right out of the gate matters more than it did when anything with a roof sold in a weekend. For the different budgets, condos and townhomes near the town center generally start somewhere in the 600s to low 800s. Standard single-family homes cluster around that median, and the golf course and luxury homes routinely run past $1 million. One more number that softens the sticker shock a little: the median household income in Mill Creek is high, up around $124,000 to $135,000, depending on the source. This is a town of dual income professional households, a lot of them earning Seattle and East Side salaries, while living up here where it's quieter. That income base is a big part of what holds these values steady. And one more thing, a lot of newcomers don't know until they've used it once. Payne Field Airport, Everett's commercial airport, is about 10 minutes north. Alaska and United fly direct out of there to LA, San Francisco, Phoenix, Vegas, Portland, and more. No fighting your way down to SeaTac. For the folks I work with who travel for work or just to get away, that's a quiet luxury they end up loving. If you're a work from home person or a hybrid worker, and a lot of Mill Creek is, you get the quiet, the schools, and the space, and you only fight that commute a couple days a week. That's the sweet spot a lot of my buyers are chasing right now. So that's Mill Creek, a beautiful town somebody planned on purpose, built around a golf course and a walkable center, with schools that punch way above their weight and homes that hold their value through the ups and downs. Is it expensive? Yeah, I'm not going to talk you out of that. But you're paying for something real, a community where people actually know their neighbors, and a place that tends to keep its worth. And here's how I'd leave it. If you're even thinking about a move up here, don't do it off a screen. Come drive it. Walk the town center on a Thursday evening in July and see if it does to you what it did to that couple I told you about. And if you want a hand, somebody local who actually lives here and will tell you the honest truth about which neighborhood fits your life and your budget, that's what I do. My name is Marv Nicholson, and this is Living Big in Seattle. I'm right here in Snohomish County, and my info's down in the description. No pressure either way. If this helped, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next town. Take care.